Special thanks to Patreon supporter Owen Brost for making this tutorial possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Scared12 here bringing you another Minecraft Modern Warfare vehicle tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building the Leopard 2PL. The Leopard 2PL is the main battle tank used by the Polish Armed Forces and is a modernized version of the older Leopard 2A4 tank, phased out by Germany and first acquired by Poland in the 2000s. The modernization is currently being carried out in cooperation with Rheinmetall and the Polish Armaments Group. So yeah, the Leopard 2PL here, basically an upgraded version of the Leopard 2A4 as I mentioned, and really has some similar features to that of like the Leopard 2A5s and upwards, in terms of its kind of extra armor added onto the front of the turret and all that, but it definitely has its little unique features to it, which make it stand out and kind of its own little thing. Overall, pretty cool build, and will be a fun build if you're looking for a very nice kind of modern tank for the Polish Armed Forces. That's a little bit more modern than the PT91 Thrati. But before we go and jump in and take a look at this build, I do want to go and give a special thanks to Patreon supporter Owen Brost for making this tutorial possible. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel more you already do, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions, where you can go and pledge a small amount to the channel every month, and in doing so earn a vehicle request to your choosing. It really helps support the work I do on my channel. It's really greatly appreciated, so definitely feel free to check that out if you're interested. Without further ado though, let's go and move in here to take a look at the Leopard 2PL. So this Leopard here uses our kind of same chassis we've been using for our newer versions for the Leopard 2 series of tanks. Really nice design. I think it's got the nice hole shaping and all that. Really happy with the way that looks overall. But then we have the turret, which is going to be your main kind of difference compared to the other Leopard versions. And this here has obviously the main gun, and we then have the turret here. So it's got all this extra add-on armor around the front, kind of giving it that appearance of like the Leopard 2A5 and onwards, and with they tried to fix the very flat front armor there that was obviously a weak spot for the tank, and this here kind of helps give it a little bit more protection. We have the optics up here on top. Obviously the front sloped armor. It definitely has some wider cheeks on the sides of the turret compared to that of the German versions. And then for the back we have the smoke grenade dispensers, and then the extra tank or extra storage back here. I'm not 100% sure if it's ammo storage or what, but it's got the storage here that's a little bit more wider and all that compared to that of the German versions. And that for the most part your tank's gonna be pretty much the same as most German equivalents, but again, this is the Polish one, so it's got a little bit of a differences here and there, and I mean if you compare the two, you're definitely going to see quite a few little differences. Overall, pretty cool build. Should be a fun one to add if you're looking for a nice modern Polish MBT. But without further ado, let's go ahead and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer. Alright guys, so moving into our first layer here, we're going to begin with layer 1. For layer 1 to go ahead and get started with, we're going to place down a row of 2 of nether brick upside down stairs, like this going across. Behind this, we're going to go ahead and place down 2 black shulker boxes, back to back like so. We then want to place down a dark oak wood top slab here on the inside, and then we're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak wood trapdoor here on the floor of the inside section like so. Underneath this top slab here, we can also place down a nether brick full block as well. We're going to go ahead and place down again 2 black shulker boxes like this back to back. We'll then want to take our polished blackstone, and we're going to place down 2 polished blackstone stairs, another 2 right behind those, and again 2 black shulker boxes back to back. Then another set of 2 of polished blackstone stairs back to back like so. Again, 2 black shulker boxes like this, a dark oak wood trapdoor, dark oak wood top slab, and then a nether brick block here in the ground, again like that. And then again 2 black shulker boxes like this, back to back. We then want to place down 2 nether brick slabs and 2 nether brick top slabs like this to go ahead and start rounding out the back there. Now this right here is basically what you should have for your track design. Give you a moment here if you need to pause it or whatever, but that's right there what you should have. With that complete though, we want to go ahead and then focus on our back. For this, we're going to go ahead and grab our dark oak wood top slabs. We're going to place down a row of 3 going across this section here. We're going to place down a top slab coming off the center there, and then a dark oak wood fence gate in to the sides there. And coming off that top slab, we're going to place down a zombie head like so, going back. Going to the front of the vehicle, we want to go ahead and begin with by placing down a row of 1, 2, and 3 of dark oak wood top slabs going off those black shulker boxes, and then 1, 2, and 3 dark oak wood trapdoors going forward. We're going to take our dark oak wood top slabs and just fill in the base here for the tank. So this is just going to get filled in completely. to basically create the bottom here of the tank. And then at this point, we're just going to copy the same track design we used over on the other side, just over here to this side. So I'm going to go ahead and do this a little bit quicker, as I've already covered the other side in good detail, and it's pretty much the same thing on both sides. So you can take the time here, pause the video, or if you're fast enough, just keep up with the build process, or whatever works best for you guys. But yeah, same thing on both sides here for the tracks. And just like that, we have our track basically laid out. Now at this point in time, we want to go ahead and then grab ourselves an item frame, a green stained glass pane, and dark oak with buttons. Now in each one of these black shulker boxes, we're going to go ahead and place down an item frame and a green stained glass pane in the item frame. Just like this all the way down. Now we're going to go and then, if you're on Java, we'll place a dark oak with button on the side of the shulker boxes as well. Just a side note is that if you are placing down the item frames and buttons, you will need to be on Java, because any other version of Minecraft does not allow you to place buttons and item frames in the same block space. So just keep that in mind. As we do this, you'll only be able to do the buttons if you're on Java. If you are not on Java, I would recommend just doing the item frames, personally. Anyways, once we get to this point here, we do also have this banner design, which I'm not going to dive into super great detail on how to do because it's pretty straightforward. But basically all you're doing here is you're taking a black banner, you're going to go and do a green stripe on the right side, and then a second banner with a green stripe on the right side, splitting it in half exactly. We then want to do a black horizontal line through both banners, and you basically have this banner design. It's really simple. You'll place these banners on the sides of the stairs with the green facing toward each other for those wheels right there on our tracks, and obviously the same thing over here will be done as well. And once you have that done on both sides, that'll pretty much complete everything we have there for layer 1. Taking a look at it from above, this we should have for the top-down view. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into our next layer, layer number 2. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we moved into layer number 2. For layer 2 to get started with here, we'll place down 3 green terracotta blocks across, and we then want to go ahead and place down a row of 3 of dark oak with upside down stairs going forward from those. We're also going to place down 2 more green terracotta blocks out to the sides there, so it should be a row of 7 in total. We'll then place down a row of 2 of nether brick upside down stairs here to both sides. We're going to place down zombie heads, or sorry, rather dark oak with signs on the fronts here of the stairs. And on the sides of the stairs, we're going to place down a zombie head. So like that to both sides. Then 2 mossy cobblestone walls back. Or rather, actually, sorry, it's going to be 4 mossy cobblestone walls back on both sides like so. We'll then fill in space between the walls with green terracotta. So we'll just place down a total of 4 rows of 7 of green terracotta going across. And we're going to continue that on with a 5th row of 7. Then we're going to go ahead and do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and we're going to stop at 11 rows back. So it should end right here. Along the rows of 11, or the rows of 7 here, all the way along the side, after those walls, we're going to place down dark oak with trapdoors, and we're going to close them so they lay flat against the side of the tank. So like that. Then we're going to take our green terracotta, place down a row of 5 across. After that, we're going to go and then place down a dark oak with top slab to both ends. A dark oak with sign coming off the top slab, like so. And we're going to go and then place down another row of 5 of green terracotta across, a green shulker box on both ends, an item frame coming off the shulker box, followed by a cobweb on both sides, and then we're going to go and also place down dark oak with button, again if you're on Java. After that, we're going to go and then place down 2 nether brick stairs here, and there are 2 over here on this side. And in the middle space here, we want to go and place down a spruce upside down stair to both sides. In the very center, we're also going to place down a mossy cobblestone wall, which will sit directly here in the center. We're going to place down an item frame coming off of it, and then a green terracotta block in the item frame. If you're on Java, we'll also place a dark oak sign on the side there as well. At this point, we basically have that all done there, the main kind of structure for this layer. We will, however, make some banners here, which will go on the back of the vehicle here for kind of like the mud flaps and stuff. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and grab the materials to make those banners, and I'll see you guys here shortly. Alright guys, so to make these banners on the back of the tank, they're super simple to do. We're going to need to start off by placing down a loom. We're going to go ahead and place down a black banner in the loom, as well as green dye. We're going to go and do a horizontal line going across the top third of the banner, and that's going to be our first banner right there. Our second banner, we're going to place down our yellow dye in. We're going to go and select the left-hand corner, square like so with yellow. And we're going to go then do the opposite with the other banner. So we're going to go and do the top right hand side, like so. So we have these two banners here. We're going to go and then place each banner back into our loom, and for red dye, and the side opposite from that yellow, we're going to go ahead and dye with red. So we're going to have the yellow corners up here in the top left. We're going to go and do the top right corner with red. And we're going to just do the same thing here for this banner as well, be on the left side, like so. So we should get 3 banners that look like this. To place them, pretty simple. You're going to place down the banner with the green line on both sides there on the stairs on the inner side. And then on the stairs on the outer side, we want the red to face toward the outside and the yellow toward the inside. And we'll just place down our banners like that on both sides. We have those little lights there on the back, which work really, really well for the tank. It looks really nice. So yeah, that right there is pretty much it for that. And with that, last thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go to the front of the vehicle here. We're going to go ahead and grab some item frames and some snowballs, and we're going to go ahead and place down an item frame on these 2 stairs and a snowball in those item frames. And with that all complete, that's going to wrap up everything we have there for layer 2, and with that, let's move on to layer number 3. Moving on to our next layer, we have layer number 3. For layer 3 to start with, we're going to place down a zombie head on both sides here, and then a dark liquid trapdoor to both sides, and then 3 green carpets across the center. We're going to go then take our daylight detectors, we're going to place down a row of 7 all the way across, and make sure that these dark liquid trapdoors stay closed. We'll then take our dark liquid slabs, and we're going to place down a row of 7 all the way across of dark liquid slabs. And then if you're on Java, we'll place down 1, 2, and 3 of pistons, and then 1, 2, and 3. If you're not on Java, I would recommend using some endstone portals, as you'll get a nice kind of sloping here for your front armor, or you can use dark liquid stairs instead. And by dark liquid stairs, I mean placing them down like so. So you'll place down the stairs like this instead. But for us, since we're on Java, we'll use our piston method here, and then we're going to place down a dark liquid trapdoor there in the center. We're going to come back to that a little bit later, but we're going to leave it as is for right now. We then want to place down a green shulker box here to both sides, as well as 1 and 2 green terracotta blocks going toward the center there on both sides. We'll also go ahead and grab ourselves a smoker, and we're actually going to replace this trapdoor here with a smoker block instead. So we'll just replace that with a smoker, and then we have our item frame, or sorry, green terracotta block right there. So it should look like that there for the front. After that's done, we want to go ahead and then go back from this with green terracotta. We're going to place down a row of 7 across. So we have 1 row of 7, then we have 2, followed by 3, 4, 5, and we're going to stop at 5. We're going to go then place down a row of 5 across. This will be followed up with a black concrete block on both ends, and in that black concrete block, or sorry, on it, I should say, we're going to place down a ladder on both sides. We then want to go ahead and grab some spruce wood planks. We're going to place down 2 planks, or 2 of these stripped spruce wood blocks. Going back, again, we'll fill the inside in here with green terracotta. And on the sides here of those blocks, we're going to go ahead and grab an item frame. And we're also going to go ahead and grab a tripwire hook. We're going to place down 2 item frames along the sides here. And in those item frames, we're going to place down tripwire hooks, but we're going to rotate the tripwire hooks so they face downwards. Same thing over here. After that, we're going to go then take our green shulker boxes. We're going to place down a green shulker box like this to both sides, as well as a row of 5 of green terracotta across the center there again. And then 1 more row of 7 going all the way across the back here like so. We're going to go then grab our ladders. We're going to place down a row of 7 of ladders all the way across the back side here, like that. And once we have that all done right there, that's going to pretty much wrap that up. And we'll go back up to the front here. And on the last 3 mossy cobblestone walls, we're going to place down zombie heads on top of those like that for that little reactive armor there on the front sides. With that all complete though, that's going to wrap up everything we have there for layer 3, and with that we'll be moving on up to layer number 4. Moving on to our next layer, we have layer number 4. For layer 4 to begin with, we're going to go ahead and place down a row of 3 of green terracotta, 1, 2, 3 across this space here, and we're going to go ahead and then place down a row of 3 of dark liquid up downstairs. Coming off those dark liquid up downstairs, we're going to place down a row of 3 of dark liquid top slabs, and then coming off the center top slab, we're going to place down 1, 2, and 3 top slabs going forward. On the sides of the second and third top slabs there, we're going to go ahead and place down dark liquid signs to both sides like so. And we then want to place down an additional 1, 2, 3, and 4 slabs going forward with a zombie head here on the very end, like that, to go ahead and make our gun barrel for the tank. With that all complete, we're going to go ahead and then continue on by going to the side here of these upside down stairs. We're going to place down a dark liquid top slab to both sides, and then a green terracotta block on both sides going back. We're also going to place down another dark liquid upside down stair to the sides here, This is going to be followed with a dark oak sign on the side of the stair. We'll then take green terracotta. We'll place down a row of 7 all the way across the build. And on both sides here, we're going to have a dark oak trapdoor. It's going to be closed flat against that. Then we want to place down a row of 2 of dark oak up downstairs, going back from that green terracotta block on the side. We're going to place down signs across the fronts of the stairs, and same thing will be done over here. We'll then fill the space in between the stairs with 2 rows of 5 of green terracotta. We're going to go then place down another row of 5 of green terracotta going across, this time followed up with a dark oak trapdoor to both sides. We're going to go and then place down a row of 3 of dark oak up downstairs, a dark oak top side to both sides, and again a dark oak trapdoor on top of that black concrete block. Then we're just going to place down a row of 5 of dark oak top sides across, where this is going to be followed up with a daylight detector on both sides, and we're going to go and keep them on the day mode, make sure that these trapdoors do get closed. We're going to place down one more daylight detector back on both sides, and in the space in the middle here, we're going to place down a row of 2 of polished blackstone on both sides there, and then a daylight detector there in the center. We're going to go and go back with 2 more polished blackstone slabs, going back from the slabs previously there, and then a dark oak wood slab, filling those 3 spaces in like so. Across the back here, we're going to place down a dark oak wood stair in the center like so, with the back facing toward the rear of the tank, and then we're going to place down our dark oak wood slabs out to the sides there. Coming off the back of the stair, we're going to place down an item frame. In that item frame, we're going to place down a black bed, rotated on its side like so, and then a dark oak wood sign if you're on Java. Again, signs and item frames can only be placed together on Java. If you're on a different version, I would recommend just placing down the item frame with a black bed. With that all complete though, that is going to wrap up everything we have there for layer number 4 for the build. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving on up to layer number 5. Before we go and move on to our next layer, I want to go ahead and cover one quick thing we're going to do here. And that's going to be going ahead and using this tool called debug stick. Now, for Java players, you'll be able to type in this command /give @p minecraft:/debug_stick. By pressing enter, you'll get this glowing stick here. Now what you can do with this stick is we can go up to these pistons here, we can left click the piston until we get extended false, and then we can go and then right click it, and it will actually get rid of that wooden portion on top. What this does here, it helps us kind of slope our armor a little bit better, and just kind of overall gives a better slope and feel to the tank, a little better shaping overall. So that's a technique we can use. Again, the end portal frames are a good substitute, though you do get that tan color shown, but it's not that big of a deal. Again, you can use stairs instead as an alternative. Anyways, let's go ahead and now move on to layer number 5. Moving on to our next layer, we have layer number 5. For layer 5 to get started with here, we're going to take our green carpet. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4 green carpet, then 1, 2 dark oak wood trapdoors, and then another green carpet here. We then want to place down a dark oak wood slab, then a birch slab, and then another dark oak wood slab behind that. On the right side here, so the right side of the turret, right side only, we're going to place down a green carpet, and then we're going to then go back and place down a dark oak wood slab next to this one. Now coming off this slab, we're going to place down an item frame, followed by a black bed rotated on its side like so, and then a dark oak wood sign that goes across like so. Again, for us Java players. If you're not on Java, again, just use the item frame. We're going to then place down a dark oak wood slab like this to the side, daylight detector like that on both sides of the slab like so. After that's done, we're going to go then place down 2 dark oak wood slabs here, daylight detector, slab, and daylight detector like that to the side. We're going to go then take our pistons. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pistons across. Instead of pistons, again, you can use end portal frames. Those are a decent substitute. And then just a dark oak wood slab at the sides there. In the center here, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3 green terracotta blocks. And we're going to go and then place down 1 and 2 pistons out to the sides there from those blocks. We're going to go and then place down a row of 5 of green terracotta across. Again, a piston to the very outsides there. And then at this point, we're going to take our green terracotta and we're just going to place down a row of 5 across. Now at this point, we're going to go ahead and also take some dark oak wood stairs. We're going to place down 2 dark oak wood stairs on the right side here. And then we're going to place down 2 green terracotta blocks over, and then another dark oak wood stair. After that, we're going to place down our dark oak wood fence gates. So we have 1, 2, and 1, 2 on this side. We're going to place down item frames on the sides there of those fence gates. In those item frames, we're going to place down black concrete, and then dark oak wood signs here on the side again for us Java players. Like so. And you can also go to the side here of the pistons too, and if you want to kind of go ahead and add some signs here on the side to kind of help keep that color a little bit more consistent, you're more than welcome to do that as well. With that all out of the way though, we'll go ahead and continue on by taking some green terracotta now, and we're going to place down a row of 5 going all the way across this back section here, and then a second row of 5 after that. We're going to take our green stained glass panes. We're going to place down a green stained glass pane here. Mossy cobblestone wall going back. Green stained glass pane and a mossy cobblestone wall back like that. We'll then take our dark oak buttons and we'll just fill or go all the way across of a row 5 of dark oak buttons across the back there. At this point in time, we'll also go ahead and take our debug stick here for our Java players, and we can go ahead and go to each one of these pistons and just right click it to go ahead and set them back or set them to that status where that sign is missing. Just a thing to keep note of is if you do update the block space around the pistons, so if you place a block on top of the pistons or you break a block next to them, they will revert back to that normal state, so just keep that in mind and try not to disturb those pistons if possible. Anyways, though, that is going to conclude layer 5, and with that we'll be moving on to layer number, or actually our final layers, which should be layers 6 through 10. Moving into our final layers here, we have layers 6 through 10. For these layers to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a green shortcut box on top of this section here, and we will place down an item frame coming off this, and then a blank bed like that. Now, one problem we're going to face here is that we usually will place a sign right here, but we will have the pistons act up if we do. So, for example, we'll place our sign and our pistons will basically all warp back. So, unfortunately, we're probably just going to have to do that and then replace our blocks, and we should be good to go there. Again, I am kind of sorry for that, but we'll leave our pistons like this for right now just in case we disturb them. We'll fix them at the end. After this, though, we're going to go and then place down a spruce wood slab here. And then around that, we want to go ahead and grab our zombie heads again, and we're going to place down a zombie head here around the slab, like so. After that, we're going to place down our slab here, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to place down a zombie head here, toward the front and toward the back, except on the very outside here, we're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak fence gate, and open this toward the slab, like so. Now on top of this, our machine gun is going to sit. So this is the MG3, so basically a modernized MG34, or MG42, or MG34, however you want to phrase it. Basically same thing. We're going to place down a polished blackstone slab here, a wither skeleton skull on the back here. We're going to go then place down a wither skeleton skull like that coming off the front there, and we're going to go and then follow this up with a chain that's going to come off of it just like that. And once you have that all done, that's pretty much all we have there for the machine gun, and that's going to pretty much finish that off. Now after we have that done, we're also going to go ahead and take our wither skeleton skulls. We're going to place them down on top of these dark oak fence gates, both sides for the smoke grenade dispensers. And then after that, we want to place down a flower pot on top of this stair here. We're also going to go ahead and grab a dark oak fence post and place it down on top of these green terracotta blocks. And then taking dark oak buttons, we want to place down a row of 3 going across here. This section here, we're going to place down an item frame and then a green terracotta block, again if you're on Java. And then after we have that done, we just want to go up from the fence post here with iron bars. So we're just going to go up 1, 2, 3, and 4. Iron bars up like that, and same thing here, 1, 2, 3, and 4 to go ahead and make our radio antenna. After we have that all done, we're going to go ahead and then take our debug stick here, and we'll just readjust these pistons here on the front if need be. And with that all complete right there, that is going to wrap up my tutorial here for the Leopard 2PL. Really cool build, and hopefully you guys do enjoy it. If you guys do be using this design, I say guys, give me proper credit for it. This is me thank from the sound of the build, link to my channel or this video if this does appear on social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for it, you're free to use it for a project you guys are working on. Overall, enjoy the build, have fun with it, and all that fun stuff. With that though, again, a big special thanks to Patreon supporter Owen Brost for making this tutorial possible. And as always, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions. With that, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Garrett 2x4, and I'll see you guys next time.